Good afternoon. Welcome to the worldwide premiere of the latest episode of the Build Your Path series, the Trades and Transferable Skills. In this video, we're going to hear from electricians from Local 26 who are all at different points in their careers. We're going to hear how they got there and all the different things that have led them to where they are today and how that can help you when you are choosing your career path. Please stick around after the video because we'll have a live Q&A with two of our featured speakers who we got here today, Rick and Josh. So please feel free to ask any questions, give comments live because we'll be able to answer them live for you today. So now let's get to our premiere.
From hands-on experience to leadership roles, skilled trade training paves the way for rewarding careers in the built environment. Skilled laborers begin with an apprenticeship program, which leads to a variety of career pathways. These programs teach transferable skills that allow you to grow quickly from journey worker to manager to business owner and beyond. Beginning your career in the trades opens doors to any role in the built environment. Today, let's meet three professionals who started as apprentices and leveraged their skilled trades experience to transform their careers and their communities.
So I'm Rick Robles. I've been in the trade forever, 30 years now. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old in high school. I'm a senior PM for Hatzel and Bueller Electric. So education for me was the number one thing that changed my life. Vocational school at that young age of 15, it was the first step of a great career and a building block to what's to come next. I got done in high school. I went to trade school. From that point, I slowly evolved to get my master's and went on to get my business degree. So I'm in charge of the projections and the money now. It was a slow, long career that evolved to something great. Folks that are looking to get into this field, that initial education of the trade through either vocational school or trade school is the most important because that's your building blocks on your whole career. Everything you do from then on is based on that information.
I'm Joshua Sudduth. I'm the superintendent with Hatzel and Bueller, and I've been in this position for about 2.5 years. So going through the apprenticeship, a lot of the skills that the apprenticeship taught me were, problem solving, technical expertise, leadership, responsibility. Basically, I use all those tools as a superintendent. I wouldn't have been selected for this position if it wasn't for my apprenticeship, if it wasn't for the different skills I picked up. None of this would have been available to me. And that tackled with my military experience basically got me to this position I'm in today. This is a unique opportunity. There's no place that you're going to go get an education, on-the-job training, and be trained on how to do your job other than an apprenticeship. And as you graduate that apprenticeship, you're still going to be learning new things every day. That's never going to stop changing. But you have the tools and the foundation for you to do something really amazing.
My name is Claudia Churi. I work for Mona Electric. I am a project manager for WMATA. I came from Bolivia about 10 years ago, and I started in Wells Fargo Bank, and then I transitioned to the construction side. I applied to the Local 26. As soon as I started as an electrician, I didn't know how to install anything. Even my language barrier was a huge impact on site. I think 5 years of experience with the Local 26 being an electrician gave me all the knowledge, all the hands-on. I learned everything with my tools. Like little by little, I was becoming one of the best on site. After 5 years, I graduated and now I become a project manager. Being an electrician was one of the best decisions that I made, learning what few people know how to do. Because my apprenticeship, I have a job that I love, I have a family that I love and I can support, and I am happy. If you want an opportunity, come be an apprentice and build your path.
Come build your path.
Come build your path.
And I look forward to see you in the job site.
Starting with a trade apprenticeship can open doors to leadership roles, management careers, and beyond. The skills you learn, like communication, problem solving, and project management, are valuable in any aspect of the construction industry. Once you finish your apprenticeship and become a journey worker, the possibilities are endless. You can advance to roles like foreman, superintendent, project manager, or even start your own business, using your experience to lead teams and shape the future of the industry. This video is sponsored by the Electrical Alliance. As a Local 26 union partner, Electrical Alliance provides a dedicated team of experts to support and advocate for their members. Their JATC program offers best-in-class on-the-job and classroom training, allowing workers to earn while they learn. Interested in learning more about your opportunities? Visit electricalalliance.org. Electrical Alliance, the backbone of resilient connectivity.
Awesome. Great job, guys. There you have it, the premiere of our newest episode of the Build Your Path series, the Trades and Transferable Skills. As I mentioned, I'm Jen DeWeese, president of the Maryland Center for Construction Education Innovation. We're the nonprofit behind the Build Your Path series. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and connect a diverse population to careers in the built environment. And I'm joined here today, as I mentioned earlier, with Rick and Josh. Before we get to the Q&A portion, I just wanted to give you guys a second to introduce yourselves and share with our viewers anything you want to say about yourself.
Hey, good afternoon. Rick Robles here, senior PM with H&B. I love the work. It's fun. And it's never ending, right?
Awesome. And Josh, who are you with? Also with Hatzel and Bueller?
I am also with Hatzel and Bueller, superintendent for them. So I control all the manpower and all the jobs that we get and move it around.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. You did an amazing job explaining on the video how you got there and everything, but we're gonna dive a little deeper because than the 5-minute long video. So Rick, you started off as a laborer, I believe, right, and worked your way up. What motivated you to keep pushing forward in this career?
The money, right? The security to support my family, the health care, and the pension, long-term pension.
Awesome. Very cool. For Josh, you actually left a different career to get into construction. What made you take that leap, and was it a tough decision for you?
It was an extremely tough decision. I tell people, a lot of people, that's one of the toughest decisions I made in my life, because in the military, I was doing really amazing things, and then the sacrifice to come back and make less money. It was a big jump, but I felt like I jumped because of my brother, and to get him pushed into this path where we could basically use a high school education and make an absorbent amount of money without having to go get a college education. And we didn't have to pay for the education. So it was an easy decision in that part to help my brother out and then start a different career.
That's really awesome. I think a lot of people are unaware of that part of an apprenticeship program that you are getting. It's an earn while you learn model, right? But you also have no debt. And that's, I think, a huge narrative in America right now is college debt. And the amount, it took me 20 years to pay off college. And I think my parents are still paying the loans that they took out when I was in college. My mom likes to remind me of that pretty often, but you guys don't have that, right? And that's amazing. And not only that, but you start earning really
it's a huge burden. Like, I'm thinking about it and paying those bills, and just some people with loans, so it's amazing that you give out of this apprenticeship a full license and no debt whatsoever, zero debt. It's awesome.
That's really awesome. Yeah, because there are other pathways to careers in construction. You can go to trade school, but you have to pay for that. So I think that's what's really wonderful about an apprenticeship program. So, Rick, you mentioned earlier how much you enjoy being outside and working with your hands. Was there ever a time that you considered a different career path?
No, I actually love the trade right from the beginning. The camaraderie on the job sites, how we work together, resolve stuff. How it forced me to learn to trade and code even more, right? To build a safe product in the end. That's something we were proud of.
Very cool. Very cool. So Josh, like, speaking of that, what you talked a little bit earlier about your role in the military. Like, what was the hardest part of transitioning into the industry from military, or was it an easy leap because of some of the structures? And how'd you overcome it?
It was It was an incredibly easy leap for me because the military, it just gives you so many things. They give you a guideline, right? They give you a set of rules, and the union is really structured in that same manner, which is really upfront with its information, and it has a guideline and a rule book that you follow, and your agreement that you make up every year. And it also, like the military, and a lot of jobs, they won't show you what the person, your boss, makes, right? They won't show you their salary. And the military, they show you all the way up through every pay grade, how much they make weekly or biweekly. It's the same thing with the union. So you get to see apprenticeship wages all the way throughout and what you can accomplish over time. So it was really easy transition going in from the military to enter into the construction field.
Rick, how does the role of a superintendent, or a senior project manager challenge you compared to when you first started? Like what skills have you learned along the way that one you never even thought that you would have back then either?
Communication skills, I think, is key across the board. It helped me resolve issues, but it helped me to listen. Effective listening over time to really identify the issue in the field, to come up with a great solution. But without the trade experience, without the trade background first, there'd be no way I could resolve these issues.
Yeah, I would imagine it's probably really beneficial for you in your PM role to have actually built it before,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And you probably have a little more respect, or the electricians on site have a little more respect for you, because I know as a former construction manager who was not in the trades, you got to prove to them that you know what you're talking about. You really do know what you're talking about, because
Exactly. I'm like the old wise one now, right? Now I'll just sit back and laugh. Like, here comes Ricky.
That's great. That's really great. Josh, similar question. Like, how valuable for you as an electrician, still in the field, and you're the superintendent, how valuable for you is it to have a project manager that's been in your shoes? I don't know if you've ever worked for somebody that hasn't started off in your shoes, but like, how valuable is that experience for you to have a teammate that understands your
Obviously
position?
For us, it's for even in the superintendent role, the value of experience that he has throughout the field, it transitions to your work to where you have to explain something, or you come up with a problem that you are explaining to them. And it keeps people really, really honest too, which is a good thing, because if without that experience, someone could tell you they need X, Y, and Z, but really they only needed Z, and the whole time they just wanted X and Y just to have it along the thing. So, and that's where you transition with people and just the different attitudes and everything. So it is awesome to work with people with that level of experience.
That's great. That's really great. You guys are both really great examples of how you can start off at a very entry level position and move up pretty quickly into management positions if you want to. But I'm sure you have coworkers that have, stayed in the field forever, right, too. So how did you decide that you wanted to make that move towards like a supervisory role? Like, what were your motivating factors?
For me or Josh?
Either one.
For me, it was just the time in the field where I knew the field install part, but I didn't know the office end. I was just over time, just slow grow, right? You get tired of doing the same thing, and you finally want to grow and control the money, control the jobs, bid the jobs, do everything else, engineer the jobs, draft them, just become better, right, at your craft.
Yeah, I think that's important. That goes back to what you were saying earlier, like needing, you have that experience, that field experience. But I think that's the wonderful part about this industry, is that no matter where you start, you could end up you could go out tomorrow and open your own electrical firm once you've got that either you have your master's or you pay someone that's got a master's to help you with it. And that's really amazing that this industry has that opportunity for growth. Josh, do you have anything to add to that? I think I lost them. Okay. So what is one more thing, Rick, that you wish that people understood about the opportunities in this industry?
That it's so vast. You know, you might be able to start off in the field and trenches and wind up in an office, or wind up doing control work, or wind up on a road, or wind up overseas, right? You know, it's endless work all the time, everywhere, if you're a good electrician, right? And you care, right? Key is care. If you care about your job, you care about the delivery of the job, you'll never be out of work.
Future proof, right? No,
Yep.
AI can't take your job.
Nope.
That's awesome. So, Josh, in the video, you talked about how rewarding it is to see something that you built. And was there a specific project that made you realize that, yeah, this is the right career for me?
I think early on, it's like funny how you say it. It's like one small task, like hanging a panel or, running a piece of pipe work for electrical wires to go through. And it's like a little small part of this overall big job that goes into it. And you kind of look back and you're very proud of your work. And, it's funny because, you kind of sometimes joke with people, but like you'll take a picture of things that you've done because you're just really proud of what you put on display. So I think it's the little things that just starts to go from there. And then as you go up in leadership, as you start to take on more of a foreman role, then it's about this whole job site that you oversaw, ran, and built together with this team of people. And you made them all forge together with the same ideas and the same morale, and hopefully all happy on the job site. And you built this pretty amazing place. And I think that's where, once I stepped into the foreman role, that I really realized that this is the career path and I never want to do anything different.
That's really awesome. And I guess, you're also building the world, right? You're literally shaping the environment in which we live as citizens. So it's actually a really cool impact on this industry and in the world itself at large. So Rick, this question's for you. For someone who doesn't have any experience, what would you recommend they do to get their foot in the door?
If they're still in high school, and if the high school offers a vocational program there, I would start there first. If they're not in high school, and let's say they got a college degree and can't find a job, I would go down to local 26 and sign up at the JATC, and go from there. Right, it's a great career if they show up to work every day. Have a good positive attitude. The rest will just fall into place.
Awesome. And if you are not in Maryland, anybody that's listening, and you're in other parts of the country, you can Google your local electrical union or apprenticeship options, because not all parts of the country have strong union presence. And same thing if you want to reach out to MCCI, we can help you. Electricians aren't the only career path in the skilled trades, although they are the most numerous in the skilled trades. They're not the only. There are lots of other options out there as well. But we need more electricians, I think, than pretty much every other skilled trade out there right now.
Or you can relocate to DC too.
Yeah, that too. Well, that's what's really amazing about this industry, is that you can literally work anywhere in the world and have a job, right? Some areas of the country pay more than others, but that's what's really cool. Even if you start in Maryland and start in the DC area, and decide, my spouse is being transferred to Michigan, you can transfer your apprenticeship, either your apprenticeship hours if you're still an apprentice, or your journey workers, and move over. So that's really cool. That's an amazing benefit that we haven't talked about this. We have talked about it in other episodes of Build Your Path, that the transferable, the actual certification and everything is transferable as well. So Josh, for you, for many career changers worry about starting over, right? And you've done it. So what would you say to someone hesitant about making the switch?
Do your research right before you decide to make the switch. Hopefully, get a little bit of time into what you're going to be doing to see, even if it's just like you had to go do some weekend work to see if this is something that you really want to transition and make this career jump to. And hopefully, it is something that you do enjoy. And when you make that weighted decision, and then when you get into it, and then, like I said, for a lot of people too, being an electrician is not for everybody. You may decide to make a leap of faith, but I mean, it's not never ending. You can always go back to usually what you were doing or do something different in that aspect. And even when you're making the switch, it's pretty seamless, and it takes a lot of what you want to put into it. Like, your overall positive attitude, like Rick was mentioning earlier, if you're going to get up and hate work every day, well, that's going to be a pretty miserable place for you to be at. But if you get up and enjoy what you do and come in there with a positive attitude, a whole lot around that job changes.
Couldn't agree more. So I'm going to have one or two questions for each of you left. So Rick, one last question for you. You mentioned having great mentors, and how they helped you shape your career. What's advice for someone new that hasn't found a mentor yet? Did you search them out, or did they just organically happen? What's some advice on how to make that happen for someone?
They always organically come into your life, right? Because they're there before. And it's up to you at that point to listen, right? The key for young folks is to listen, and don't speak much, and you'll learn a lot. For me, the first mentor I ever had was my mother, right? She was great. She went to work every day. She got the job done, right? And I know she's probably on this call, right, with smiles, but good job, Mom. Right, you did good. The second person after that was every electrical contractor who owned the organization took a shine to me and brought me up the right way, right? They taught me the right things that made me what I am today, and I owe the career and the trade to them. And the last person I think I would have in my life that did great, Joe Dabbs. The BA at Local 26 is an old-time friend. And if it wasn't for him, I would not be in a trade here today.
That's awesome. A lot of times it's not what you know, it's who you know, right?
Yeah, good friends. Lifelong friends, right?
That's wonderful. That's really great. So Josh, last question for you. What advice do you have for veterans or people with hands-on experience in other fields who are considering construction?
What I would say is that anybody that's trying to make I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yep. What advice do you have for veterans or anybody that maybe has hands-on experience in something else other than construction that are also considering construction? Like any tips or?
I would say, like you said, this isn't the only trade. The biggest things would be reaching out to, a lot of this is doing your own research, looking at different local unions that offer apprenticeships to where you can have your trade paid for. Usually with veterans too, you can explore the Montgomery GI Bill and still use that for your apprenticeship, and that is also a great tool for veterans coming over. It's hard work, so they're pretty used to that. Most veterans are used to that, so it's honestly a pretty clean transition if they're trying to consider it.
Awesome. Yeah. So for anybody that is wondering what other kind of pathways there are in construction beyond electrical, if you go to buildyourpath.org, our website, you can see a whole list. It's not exhaustive because there are probably hundreds of careers in this industry and so many subsectors. In fact, even in an electrical company, you've got, in addition to your project managers and your superintendents, your electricians, you have back office positions like the CAD drawings, like, computer and computer design, 3D modeling and everything. You have estimating, you have HR, you have marketing, you have all kinds, IT even. That's what's cool about this industry, is that we love to say here at MCCI, no matter who you are, there is a career in construction for you, because even if you are interested in health and wellness, we have safety managers and positions like that. So there's literally everything that we could find in this industry. So again, if you go to buildyourpath.org, you can find more about those careers. Awesome. Well, thanks, gentlemen, so much for your time, not just today, but on filming. It was a really fun day on site with you both and getting to learn about your career paths more. And I hope it was helpful to our viewers. So before we go, I wanted to thank our sponsors once again, the Electrical Alliance, for your support on making this video. Without your generous support, our work would not be possible. And for any of you watching that would like to get involved with MCCI and potentially sponsor your own film, we'll drop the link to our sponsorship form in the comments. There are 1,000,001 ways to engage with MCCI beyond just being a sponsor, and we encourage more people to join the ranks of our industry as well. Finally, I'd like to thank our video production firm, Alisana Collective, for doing a fantastic job, as always, on this video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to our videos so you don't miss our next one. That's all for now. Bye.